So guys, it's Chef Mayhem. Today we're gonna be going over how to make black powder with water, and yeah, this is the second version. This is gonna be a slideshow I made myself with just the effort of just effort and research really much. So first thing you want to know about black powder, if you watched my first video about gunpowder, then you wouldn't really need to know this. So go ahead and watch that video right now. And but if you didn't, then that's all right. I'll go over it again. So black powder was first made by the Chinese for use in fireworks. Well, originally they devised it to make an immortality elixir, and then they realized it could play potential in fireworks, add some potential in fireworks. So they made fireworks, and then they used it in weapons and explosives. A contraption that was devised by the Ottomans and the three gunpowder empires. And I'm not sure if the Mongols came. It doesn't really matter. It is very simple to make, but it's not very powerful or safe. Only about 50% of black powder is converted to hot gases when it is burned. This is very interesting. I didn't know this. I actually had to find this out myself. Black powder has one major problem: it can be ignited by static electricity. Well, this is bad because it means that this isn't too bad. It's bad like if you have the wrong container. So basically what this means is you have to use wooden or clay tools or rubber tools or anything that's insulated to make the material, which is black powder. An individual can manufacture black powder at home after reading this guide that I made. The ingredients to making black powder by weight. They consist of 75% potassium nitrate, 15% charcoal, and 10% sulfur. And then, there's water. But the water doesn't really count as an ingredient. It's just a dampener. So potassium nitrate, 75%. Or you can substitute it with any saltpeter that you need. So you can substitute it interchangeably with sodium nitrate, NaNaO3. Then you have sulfur, 10% sulfur by weight. This is dusting sulfur. You can usually just buy this brand that you see right here. This brand right here for potassium nitrate, that's my preferred brand. It's almost 99.99% potassium nitrate, which is really good. Then you need charcoal. Now, to make charcoal, you just get a can, put a can with a cover in it, and fill it with wood. Then poke a hole in the can and put it over fire. The hole is to make sure the pressure doesn't build up and it causes the thing to explode. Because heat and pressure are directly proportional. So as heat goes up, pressure goes up, and it'll cause it to explode. So and then after that, the wood will be petrified and it'll turn into charcoal, which is just basically carbon rings. Just a solid block of carbon, basically. Then you need distilled water, just like bottled water. Doesn't really matter. Then place small amount of potassium or sodium nitrate in the grinding bowl or mortar and pestle or blender. If you want to use a blender, do not worry; it will not blow up, light on fire. If you put it in and grind it to a very fine powder, do this to all the potassium and sodium nitrate, or make sure it's or, not both. Basically saltpeter, and store the ground powder in one of the plastic bags. Why do you do this? This is so that they'll be easier to mix. Then do the same step 2 is to do the same to the other ingredients, sulfur and charcoal, and store each chemical in a separate plastic bag. Why do you do this? This is so the mixture will be easier to mix. Then after all this, place finely ground potassium and sodium nitrate in the beaker, in a beaker, and add just enough boiling water to the chemical to get it all wet. Why? The mix was dampened with alcohol or water to prevent grinding. Is dampened with is. There's no was. That's a is. That's autocorrect. Grammarly, is dampened with alcohol or water during grinding to prevent accidental ignition. This is because black powder isn't known to be a primer. It's not. It's a low order explosive, but it can be set off if you mix it wrong. Like if you're like being brute and you want to mix it, you're mixing it like with a metal pestle, then it's obviously gonna like set off static electricity and it's gonna ignite it. So you put water in it so it dampens it, and you mix it. This also helps extremely soluble saltpeter to mix into the microscopic nooks and crannies of the very high surface area charcoal. If you have any questions with that, just email me. It's on my YouTube. My email is on my YouTube channel. Then step 4, add the contents of the other plastic bags to the wet potassium or sodium nitrate and mix them well for several minutes. Do this until there's no more visible sulfur charcoal or until the mixture is universally black. Why do we do this? We put this so it can be a mixture. Then on a warm sunny day, which is step 5, put the beaker outside in direct sunlight. Sunlight is really the best way to trap black powder because since it is never too hot, but it's hot enough to evaporate the water. Why do we do this? So the powder cannot be wet and it can actually be used. Then after this is done, scrape the black powder out of the beaker, store in a safe container. Plastic is really the best, safest container, followed by paper. You never want to store black powder in plastic bags since they're prone to generate static electricity. And don't put it in metal containers either because they're also prone to generate static electricity. Why do you do this? So you can store it. Duh. And voila, you now made gunpowder / black powder. Now there are some warnings, some caveats to making this version of black powder. It's that black powder can be permanently ruined by water, and it's just because it's a mixture of saltpeter, and like I told you earlier, saltpeter is highly water soluble. If you get it wet enough, the saltpeter can be completely washed out of the mixture. This doesn't always happen, The process that I'm using for this one, the 19th century industrial manufacturing process for black powder, deliberately dampens it, both to make it less dangerous during manufacture and to make saltpeter crystals form inside of each particle of charcoal. We're careful enough to just use only enough water, there really isn't just enough water. As long as you keep it in one box, it's really all right. In one container, it's really all right. And make sure to watch out for the static electricity will set black powder off. All right. This is Chef Ma'am signing out. Yeah. Any questions about this? Email me, and that's it.